Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Internet world. My name is Derek Supan, and I'm with CarData. This podcast is called Auto Merch Talk. What we'll be talking about is stuff that's in the industry, for example, photos, videos, what we do in the industry, and we're going to talk about different subjects. For example, today the subject is going to be about Carvana. And today I have some special guests with me. You guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Yeah, my name's John Finucane. I'm the president of CarData. I've been in the field for about 15 years now in automotive inventory merchandising. And just love talking and merchandising cars.
Edwin Gomez. I was in the car business for about 5 years. Now I've been with CarData for also 5. Just ready to get this rolling.
My name is Wayne Valroop. I've been in the industry since 2006. Worked in quite a few different states and a few different companies, also a small company of my own. So well versed in what we do out here and how to make your inventory stand out.
Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. So today, guys, like I said, it's going to be a conversation about Carvana. Now, do we think Carvana is going to drastically impact the dealerships that we know today? Like, the ones that you go in, you buy a car, you spend 4 or 6 hours in there, and then you leave and go home with your car. So, guys, what do you guys think about Carvana? Do you think it's going to impact the dealerships in the future?
Well, let's see. Let's start from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
When did Carvana? When did they first emerge? In
2012.
In 2012. And so from 2012 to now, how have they grown? I mean, we know that they've grown because they're covering what 80% of the U.S. right now is where they're delivering, is what I heard. Right. I'm not too versed on it, so I'm just going to go based upon what I know, what I've read, and just my personal opinion.
Okay.
I believe that they're here for a reason, of course. They've been here for going on 9 years now, covering as much territory as they have. They sold, 244,000 units last year, which is just 0.6% of the used car market, which was sold last year. May not seem like a lot, but 244,000 times whatever they're making per car, I'm sure it's a big number, right? And they're going to continue to grow. My personal opinion, not reading anything, is that they have found a niche in the market for a particular type of buyer, and that's why they were able to grow so much. There are so many introverts and so many people like myself that I'm tired of spending time at a dealership. When I'm working there, it's fine, I'll be there all day, but when I go to buy a car, I don't want to be there all day, right? But that's my main purpose, that why I would even look to go to a company like Carvana, where I can do all my stuff online, on my time, 12 o'clock in the night, where no one's bothering me, you're not hassling me. I mean, you could get your paperwork done and you're still waiting 3 hours for your car at a dealership for it to get cleaned, and all they do is a washing and vac. Let's just be real. When you buy a used car, you don't get something pristine out of the box. It's never happened. I've bought too many cars to know that that's the truth of it, right? So my personal opinion, they found this niche, they dug into it, they dug their heels into the ground, and that's why they're here. And they're going to continue to grow. That's my opinion. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think?
Yeah, so it was surprising to see those numbers of how many cars they sell. Like you said, 244,000 last year, which makes them number 2 next to CarMax for used car retailers, which is an amazing amount of growth. And they have their online presence is massive, but their actual physical presence in brick and mortar is pretty limited. So a pretty limited footprint of, I believe, 24 vending machines, I believe. Okay. I'm sure all strategically located in major markets so they can have maximum impact on their spread. But they've grown tremendously, and really in their impact into the franchise dealers, with new car sales, I think they'll have an impact on the used car sales, obviously, for sure. But as far as new car dealers and new car franchises, I think they have a lot of catching up to do, and they have a lot of avenues to pursue to catch up to those online retailers. But I think they can definitely do it. They're a threat, but they're not that big of a threat, I would say.
Yeah, see, I agree that the franchise dealerships can get up to pace with where they're at. What if I was a franchise dealer? What I would be looking at, which I'm sure multi-million-dollar dealerships are looking at, companies are looking at, right? What am I not doing that they are doing? And how can I implement that, right? I think that's the biggest thing, because that's what I would be looking at. What are you doing different that I can't do? And I think franchise dealerships have everything at their disposal. Most of them already have everything that they need as far as merchandising their stuff, right? Their cars, their photos, their spin 360s and whatnot, that Carvana is doing, the dealerships, most of them already have it. Matter of fact, most of our customers already have that. It's just how do you market it properly?
Yeah. I mean, it's a natural progression in the industry, you know, to go as far as what we do, you know, and from the photos to the spins to the videos, you know, it's just a natural progression of, you know, Carvana started doing it, I would say, after we actually started doing spins. So they came around, we've been offering spins forever. Yeah, it sounds like you're at least 5 years. You know, and Carvana came around. They started doing their spins. They had their photo booths. Some of the franchise dealers are still catching up on that. Some are a little bit space limited, so they can't do the photo booth, let's say. But they can always do spin 360s. And the photos, obviously, everybody does that. But yeah, it's just a natural progression in the industry. You know, we all remember when we had to sell dealers on why they needed new car photos, or why they needed photos in general. You know, what was the internet? Why is it important? Why should I even invest in it? You know, and now we see actual, almost entirely online-based retailers taking over a whole segment of the market, which is, it's just a natural progression. But yeah, as far as, you know, what their impact is on the franchise dealer, like I said, it most likely will be limited, and they have a lot of ways to combat them. But yeah, if you go into a franchise dealer and you spend, like Derek was saying, you know, 4 to 6 hours to purchase a car, and a lot of people, like you were saying, Wayne, it's a niche market. Some people just don't want to go into a dealer, spend 4 to 6 hours. A lot of people, there's a stigma with car dealers. You know, I personally don't believe it's 100% true, but there is a stigma that, you know, you think you're getting jacked around. You know, when you go into a car dealer, they're not being upfront and honest with you on what their pricing is. And I've seen car dealers just eat their pricing. So for customers, although they still don't believe it, because that stigma in their mind says, well, they're definitely trying to get one over on me. How are they keeping the lights on in this place? You know, and I can understand that. But there is definitely it's a niche market for the people that don't want to go in at all, and that ease of use of just going online, clicking a button, getting a token, or if they want to go to the physical location, the vending machines, and get their car, or just having it delivered and dropped off to you.
Yeah, I think retail in general, like, it doesn't matter what you're selling. You have to try to cater to every single personality out there, and that could be hard. What I think Carvana did was show everyone in the franchise market, hey, here's this open spot that you guys are leaving here. We're going to fill it. What the franchise dealers need to do, in my opinion, is they need to see, okay, well, this is here. It's been here 9 years and it's still here. How can we start to fill that spot? Because I think the franchise dealers, they have a larger presence, right, when it comes to getting people coming in their door, because they have service departments. How many people come through their service departments that Carvana is not getting? But I think franchise dealers, they really need to start focusing on this open spot that Carvana filled, and how can I now start taking that back? What can I do better? How can I make this process better? How can I show the damages like Carvana shows the damages and the pictures? That's something that we can do. So they have items at their disposal. They just need to use it.
With that said, do you guys see in the field that franchise dealerships making any improvements? I've seen dealerships just expand, getting bigger and bigger, but I don't really see anything catered that's like Carvana. You know what I mean?
I think that there are a very small handful of franchise dealerships. So I travel around quite a bit. I think I've been to pretty much every single one of our markets already, right? So several different states. And I've seen a very small handful. I could count over 300 customers we have right now, probably about 10, that have taken it seriously, and they're making steps towards doing something different. But that's it. So to answer your question, no, the majority of people, I don't think they're even paying it any attention. They probably see it there. They probably said, okay, well, this is our platform, this is our program, this is what's working right now. We're getting X amount of gross in, and we're good. It keeps the lights on. I mean, that's just my opinion. Obviously, I'm not in the dealership to know what they're thinking, but I don't see the majority of dealerships taking this seriously, franchise dealers, to want to hop in and be like, guys, let's do something different. The people that are doing that, I can count on my two hands.
Yeah, I think I think it could be twofold. One, I think the market kind of expects, the customers kind of expect to go into the franchise dealer. They just expect, Carvana and these other, what was it, NFORs? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
NFOR.
That's what, Cox Automotive branded them as. The new generation of NFORs, they market themselves as, don't come in, buy it online. No money back guarantee, 7 days. Try or no money back guarantee. Try it out for 7 days. No muss, no fuss. You don't like it, send it back. Which is go back to your point about why they take pictures of scratches and everything. So they try to. I mean, obviously that stuff costs money to them. And if they have a lot of cars coming back because they're not taking pictures of close-up scratches and dents, that's going to be a major bottom line hit for them. So they want to be as transparent to the customer as possible, which makes sense. I think the pandemic really forced a lot of hands in dealers, as far as switching to more of an online and hands-off approach with car sales and just trying to get the cars to the customers with as little interaction as possible with the customers, and just going from A to Z and trying to just get it all done with not too much contact. And I think that's helped them kind of clean back a little bit of the online space as far as hands-off delivery and everything. And some have marketed it on their, let's say, their branding, their overlays, their backgrounds, because of the pandemic. We also see a bit of a pullback, some dealers taking it off their websites as far as free home delivery, money back guarantee, 7 days. Do they still offer it? I'm sure several of them do. But dealers a lot of times they might offer something, but they might not advertise it. Because they don't want customers to take advantage of it sometimes. So
back to the marketing. How are you marketing your stuff?
So I think it was forced, but I also think there is a little bit. I mean, we've had dealers that said, we offered the home delivery, and not many people took advantage of it. Because people, I really believe that it's just how the customers, I guess, trained to an extent.
I was going to say, they just got to get used to it.
How they're trained.
New, so people are still.
It's that stigma. It's the training of the customer. The NFORs are strictly advertising. Hey, we're all online. Buy it. We'll deliver it. Whatever.
This is like Amazon. A bunch of people didn't want to order from stuff at Amazon at first.
Now. I mean,
they're
sometimes I guess you got to take that hit. If you're Amazon.
Training was the good word. They need to train these customers.
I mean, especially for the franchise dealers. Because those customers are trained to come in. And obviously, their service departments are huge part of their business model, and they try to do a lot of sales out of their service departments too. Someone comes in with their car's messed up, and they'll try to get them traded in. Cover the cost of the repairs. I've actually seen service guys do that and get blown off. but they're like, hey man, or lady, you got a repair that's gonna cost you about $2,000 right now. We got a new 2020 sitting over here, and we can start working the numbers on you. We'll take care of the repair for you, and you just trade in the car. And of course they got blown off, but it's definitely an option for dealers to actually market that way too.
I do want to touch on those trades though, but just to take one step back, with the Carvana came to the market with their advertisements and with everything that they do, all their marketing, all their online stuff. We deliver. You don't have to come in, right? I watched this video where this guy bought a vehicle and he did everything online, got his coin, he went there, put the coin in, car came down. He was in the car when the door opened up, right? There was no one there. So full hands off, he just does his thing and he's happy. He doesn't have to deal with anyone in his face. There's a lot of people like that. But my point being is they marketed themselves like that. We do delivery. Like what you said about the pandemic forced people's hands and they came online. We saw that because people wanted us to change overlays,
everybody,
banners and whatnot, right?
A lot of people did it,
But most of them did it just for a little bit, took it off. But I never saw any commercials that were long-standing. It was just a few months. We deliver. We can deliver. We could deliver. No, we deliver. If you're within a certain radius or whatever, we deliver. That's what they need to do. And I haven't seen that done. So they're not competing in that sense.
But the funny thing is, the ones that decided to keep their we deliver things complain that not enough customers were even taking advantage of it.
What
Yeah.
does it cost them to keep the advertising there?
Well, like you said,
But it goes back
they
to
don't
the
advertise
training.
for
It's
it.
like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go to Walmart to buy something I need from Amazon. Let's
Yeah.
say.
Yeah,
If
well-
we got Carvana.
Yeah.
I guess that training, yeah. I mean, as far as the customer goes, there's such a large segment of customers that still want to go in and kick
They're gonna do
tires.
what they're
They want
used
they want to
what
go
they're
in.
used to, what they're
They want to
comfortable
haggle. They think they can get a better price. They want to check the car out. They want to go for the test drive, even though Carvana
Yeah.
offers that home delivery and send it back in 7 days if you don't like it. I believe that's what their policy is.
Yeah, 7 days.
Yeah.
But what about those trades now? So those trades, a lot of dealers were they'll get trades, and because it's not up to their standards, right? Which they have a threshold, service-wise or whatnot, they'll put that aside. They'll send it to auction. Well, you have companies like Carvana that are buying those cars, and they're selling them. Why can't the franchise dealers keep those cars? Let's just keep our inventory. Let's get rid of the turds, right? Super high miles or whatever. It's,
Yeah.
safety. It failed everything. But you can't say that Carvana is selling cars. I mean, I don't know. I don't know their whole inventory. But are they selling cars with flaws? Of course they are.
Yeah.
to-
Difference is
You know what I'm
Used
saying?
cars.
the difference is they're advertising those flaws. For them,
Yeah.
for them,
That's why they're pointing it
for
out.
them from a business, it makes sense. For traditional franchises, with the customers come in, look at the cars, you can kind of put your hands up to your eyes and say, I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
As the franchise, you
Yeah.
know, you can kind of go blind in that and just say, well, it's up to the customer. Really, they're at the dealer, they're looking at the car.
Yeah.
They can see if it's got damage or not. And whereas Carvana, from a bottom line perspective, it really hurts if they take all that. They have to invest so much in delivering a car to the customer, and then have to take it back,
Yeah.
put it back up, re-advertise it. It's such a heavy investment on their side that they want to make sure that everything is disclosed to the customer before they take delivery of the car, so that nothing really comes up as a major surprise. I mean, sometimes they're still surprised, I'm sure, but they just want to minimize that amount. Now, that brings into a larger discussion of, I guess, transparency, in the car marketplace as far as advertising to customers.
See, I think franchise dealers could get better at transparency. I think you brought that up earlier.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is there is a market out here where there are customers that are willing to accept some damages because they're getting such a good price.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people, but I think dealers are trying to create a perfect used car to try to market it to people. I mean, I bought cars where the headlights looked like they were brand new, and 2 months down the line, I can't see out the headlights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, in my opinion, you created an upset customer. Had I known the headlights were bad, at least I know what I'm getting into. Transparency.
Yeah.
So I think there are customers out there that will accept some damages. I mean, I know. That's why Carvana, one of the
Yeah.
reasons they exist.
I remember I worked with one dealer in Estero Bay that they actually didn't. Their cars are absolutely as is.
Yeah, they had the lines
Absolutely
on.
as is. Yeah,
Absolutely as is.
they ran their cars through safety. They got an invoice from the service department, slid it on the dash, and said, if you want to buy this thing, you're going to be expecting these repairs, and you have to pay for the repairs. And I mean, that's as clean as it gets as
Well,
far
look,
as
you guys
transparency
talk
for
about
them.
How the franchises can catch up to Carvana and things like that. Like the services that we offer, we can be the ones. We take the pictures of your cars already. We can show those flaws.
Yeah.
Make it easy.
Oh, for sure.
And do things like that. I mean,
Yeah, but that, you see, and stuff like that, it's such a customer by customer thing on our side.
yeah.
As far as the franchises, because some dealers wouldn't mind it, other dealers absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily because they're trying to be malicious or or shady, non-transparent. Mainly because the most often reason I heard was because, hey, don't shoot that because I'm gonna have a guy fix it.
Right.
And obviously we're time to market. Any day that goes by that you don't have a photo online, it's a problem for us and a problem for you.
Right.
So, because it hurts your marketing, obviously, and your leads. So, we want to get those photos up as soon as possible. But I've been approached many times by dealers with the common sense clause in the
Yes,
contract.
Watch
In
that
the
corner. Paint guys back there.
Hey, don't shoot this because I got a guy that's gonna fix it tomorrow. Don't shoot that. It's like, well, we gotta get the photos up now, and we totally understand that you don't want to advertise that. And if you're gonna get it fixed, for sure, we've gone over the bridge where they never get fixed as well. So it's kind of a balance.
I agree with you. There's many services that we do offer with our photos, with our live videos, with our Spin 360s that can outline these things just like Carvana does.
For those people that want to be like Carvana and want to,
or better,
kind of, hey, give us a call. We
Right.
can help you out
That's
a little
right.
bit.
That's what we do.
Absolutely, that's what we do all day, all night.
Yeah.
It's definitely a service because what? We take a couple extra pictures of some damages.
Yeah.
Now the customer's there, the customer sees it. It's no issue.
Yeah, I remember when we had a client that liked to do eBay, a lot of eBay stuff.
Yes.
And he always said, make sure you take pictures of the damages because they got disclosed on
They
eBay.
got it this way. And they didn't have that many issues.
Yeah.
Because people already knew what.
But that was so long ago. That was long before Carvana, where he was selling on eBay. And I think that's kind of the predecessor to how much transparency Carvana wants to instill in their business model. That he wanted to make sure there's that much transparency too, because it is all online. If you take that car back and that deal unwinds, it's going to cost them a lot of money.
Yep.
Yeah.
It costs them more.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
what do you guys think about off lease? Because off lease only sells used cars, correct? Do you think Carvana really hurt them?
You know, I didn't read anything or do any online
What about-
research.
about that?
It would have.
I want to say that from what I know, the off leases, it doesn't seem like Carvana's really getting big.
I would say major focus on probably CarMax. Off lease is big too, and they're a monster, especially down here in South Florida. But you know, CarMax is just nationwide, and obviously they're number one. Carvana's number two, so they're chipping at their heels. I'm sure.
With 17 million in 2020.
Yeah, so really far away from chipping on their heels, but they're chipping. They're trying to catch up to it. But yeah, CarMax is just it's a juggernaut unto itself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean with that, yeah, CarMax. Yeah. Anyways,
I
keep
think
going.
any progress is progress. So we've seen them grow since they started.
Right.
I think they're going to continue.
Has CarMax changed anything that they did since Carvana came out? Is there?
Not that I noticed. I mean, I didn't really look into it that deeply, but I'm sure they probably instituted, home delivery just like everybody else. But I don't know if that was because of Carvana
Yeah. I think
or
that was
because
more
it's the
of
pandemic.
Pandemic, yeah.
Because I think most dealer transition went through
Yeah,
because of the
we delivered
pandemic. Yeah.
That was part because of the pandemic.
Yeah. I mean, because Carvana's been around for a while. I don't know what CarMax policy is on home delivery and when it came about, but I'll reach out to them.
My opinion is I don't think anybody's gonna die. I think it's good that people now have choices.
Yeah.
You want to stay home and do your shopping online, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's a good company. And if you want to go into your local dealer, you go ahead, same thing. I
Yeah.
think it's great. I don't think anybody's gonna really lose per se.
Yeah.
It's just another option the way I see it. Have you stopped going to the supermarket or to Walmart because of Amazon?
No, not at all.
And, it's
I actually enjoy going to the lot
It's the
and
same
walking the
thing.
lot, seeing the cars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Just don't like the process.
I can have my food delivered from Publix, but I still walk into Publix.
Yeah. I was. It was funny because
It just depends on the person you are.
I was looking into trading my car the other day, and I was thinking about getting rid of it. Sending it to CarMax, getting an appraisal on it. Because if you think about CarMax, you think about trade-ins.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've had dealers tell customers that were trying to give them
And they
their
give
car,
you
they
money.
say go to CarMax. If they don't like the deal, obviously that they were getting. But CarMax really, their whole model is around the trade-ins and the no haggle price. But yeah, so I was thinking about trading in my car, and I was thinking about buying another used car. I never buy new cars. No offense to new car buyers, but I was thinking about buying another pre-owned car. And the one thing that really stopped me was the fact that I don't do as many cars as I used to back in the day. Like in the field shooting cars, helping out. So I was like almost every car I've ever bought in the past was a car that I drove, took pictures of, really liked it, and I was like, you know what, let me buy this thing. And I almost feel like a little awash in the ocean of cars. Like I go online, I'm like, I've never driven it, but I've never driven that one. I mean, I've driven cars like it,
Yeah.
but not that specific car. And I'm like, man, I like driving the car, before I buy it, which is sitting in it. Yeah. Because I mean, every car I ever bought, I've driven it first, and I was like, man, this is a nice car. Driving it, it's like, okay, it moves well, engine's
something like
nice.
this wouldn't work for you then, because you need that.
Probably not. I mean, obviously, I'll have to train myself not to do that. I'll just go straight into, purchasing a car online or something to that effect. But, I do like driving the car, and it's always random. And I explain that. When it hits me, because anytime I ever bought a car at a dealership, I've always been in the market kind of for it. I'm like, I should probably get a new car because my car's at 200,000 miles again, So, and I'm like, and I just randomly drive a car, take photos of it or something, and all of a sudden, boom, I'm like, man, that's a really nice car. I'm like, yeah, I throw the keys to the sales guy, like, run it up, Of course, it takes another 6 hours, and then out the door, but yeah.
6 hours later.
6 hours.
So it sounds like a new era, a new age of car buyers. Really is what I'm listening to here, because I feel the same way like you. Is Carvana really catering to that new age buyers? What's the new age people called?
Don't bring the millennials into it.
There you go.
Because I'm technically a millennial. I'm 34. I think I'm a millennial. I'm not sure how that works.
Mentally, you're a little older.
Gen something. Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying
Mentally,
about that, right?
World War
Because
II.
I need to see it, feel it, touch it, smell it, experience it. Some people don't mind buying. I mean, this is what, your second largest purchase of your life,
Right.
a vehicle.
Yeah.
And you want to spend 20 grand to have it delivered. I'm not that guy. It'll never happen.
I mean, you get damage and delivery.
But what I will tell you is, I don't want to spend 8 hours at a car dealership buying a car that
Right.
I'm walking in with cash. I've bought a car cash and still spent 4 hours.
Boy, do they hate that.
Of course.
I've had those checks, and they're like, those finance guys, man, they get out of my office.
But that's where the dealership could step it up, shorten that process.
Yeah.
That process does not need to be that long.
See, that's what I'm saying. What can the franchise dealer do better? In our opinion, what's our personal opinion? What can they do better so people are not sitting there for half of their day waiting for a car? Because I want to see it, smell it, touch it, feel it, but me having to spend half a day there will force me to look at a company like Carvana. Does that make sense?
Does make sense.
You know what's funny? Even though Edwin hasn't been in that side of the business in a long time, I think you have the most experience on why it takes so long. Because, I could ask the guys.
A lot of the times it's because I got to get something for you and you're busy, so I'm waiting 5-10 minutes and then, sorry, you got to tell the customer, somebody's doing this.
Yeah.
There's little things that can happen in between the deal. Remember, it's not
The manager's not being ready, available.
Something else happening. John, my manager, he's somewhere else. Now I have to wait for him, so on and so forth. So sometimes it's not that they want to be slow. Sometimes they're just slower.
Yeah.
Now I can tell you on the finance part, I see that now they have all the AccuSign thing.
Oh, yeah.
Believe it or not, that saves a lot of time, because before the finance manager would be back there printing those things out, printing those while you were over there waiting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there are changes coming to it, but
These people are buying cars online, right? And then they're waiting a couple of days for the car to get delivered. I'm just throwing a thought out there, and then they open. Why not have the customer go through all the paperwork and everything, and maybe have the car delivered to them? They've already seen it, test drove it. But while the dealership spends their God-given time detailing it, they're wash and vacuum with no tire shine.
Sounds like a
And
personal
have the car
experience.
delivered, or just set up a time. Ma'am, you could be here 1 o'clock tomorrow and pick up your car. It'll be ready to go.
But see, I don't know.
so I want to tell you that when I sold cars, we actually did that sometimes.
Yeah, because I don't
It
know.
was going to be a
You
special
can't say
deal
it
or
doesn't
something.
exist.
We would tell people,
Carvana
hey,
does?
listen.
I'm sure it exists, but I don't know as a customer. Like when I went into the dealership to get that car, I wanted that car then.
well, good.
And that's the thing. Exactly, I'm waiting there.
So have the option.
Like most customers, I'm gonna wait and complain about waiting that I was expecting to wait in the first place.
That's right.
But although I'm not a complainer.
That's right.
But it's I think customers that go in to buy a car are expecting to walk out with the keys, I guess, in less time, but also that day. So I think it's about expectations, like everything in life,
Transparency and give an option.
Yeah.
Sir, ma'am, if you don't mind, we'll have this ready for you in about 3 to 4 hours. Right after you sign it, you can come back at this time today.
Mm-hmm.
Or, sir, ma'am, you can come back at a certain time tomorrow and you set an appointment. When you come back, keys will be ready for you. All you have to do is just call your salesperson.
All right, Internet world, there you have it. the conversation about Carvana. If you guys want to hear more, we have a podcast here every Wednesday, Auto Merch Talk. Just tune in and check out what we got to offer, all right? If you like what you saw, just like and subscribe. And thank you very much for watching.